Hello middle schoolers, this is RS Jafarzadeh here to work with you on creating your Flash websites. We're going to be focusing on creating kind of a skeleton or a template to create a pull down menu for your project. I know this week you've been focusing on your volcano animations, so next week's going to be primarily for your Flash websites. And once you get this this kind of skeleton down, this main pull down menu system down, you should be cutting and pasting information and just organizing your pictures. So hopefully you can finish it in about a week. That's our goal, and that way you can relax during your break. Alright, so let's get started. We're going to go over here to Flash ActionScript 2.0, and immediately I'm going to go check my properties, my document properties. You'll notice that the size is pretty small, 550 by 400. Now I talked to you guys about web sizes, and I can't remember if I asked you to create this in 800 by 600 pixels or 1024 by 768. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. I believe I said 1024 by 768. But for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to do 800 by 600 just to keep the screen, or be able to fit everything on the screen well and not have to worry about resizing things all the time. The frame rate I'm going to leave at 24. That's going to make it nice and smooth, and I'm going to click OK. Let's zoom out a little bit here, even though I said I didn't want to. It looks like I have to anyways, but or maybe not. It looks okay. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and create a pull down menu for myself, so that way I can have the user see the menu options up at the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the rectangle tool. Now I'm using Flash to create all this stuff. You guys do not have to. You're more than welcome to use Photoshop or Illustrator to create your graphics. That's up to you. My rounding, or I'm going to round the corner radius here. I put 10 so that it really rounds the edges for me. So I'm just going to draw a little rectangle here, rotate it with the transform tool. There we go. Rotate it and put it up top and stretch her out this way and this way to give it that kind of weird look. There we go. Alright, so there's my rectangle at the top. That's my pull down menu. And then from here I'm going to make a new layer, so this is going to be pull down menu. I'm typing everything in caps just so it's easier for you to see on the little window. And this one's going to be called, oh, did I say pull down menu? I meant menu bar. Okay, and then this is the drop down menu here. There we go. And on this new layer I just created, I'm going to create the button that they're going to click to get the menu that drops down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to the rectangle tool again. And this time I'm going to just choose something slightly different. Again, you can do what you want for your project, but I'm going to choose the rounded or the circular gradient tool there, or gradient option. And I'm just going to create a button. Use the move tool and just drag it right there. There we go. There's my first item on my menu. Once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and right click it and convert it to a symbol. I'm going to call this symbol pull down menu. It's going to be a movie clip. Even though it's really a button, it's a movie clip, and it's going to have a button inside of the movie clip because that's how we do all the cool animations. Remember, a button only has, on, off, on, over, or off, on, or over, and down and hit. So right now, a movie clip will give us a bit more flexibility as far as animating it. So let's click OK here. And now we are going to go inside of our movie clip by double clicking it. When I double click it, up here you'll notice it says scene 1 and now pull down menu. We're actually inside pull down menu. Over here this is going to be the main button, or button, let's say main button graphic. You can name it however you see fit, that's fine. I'm going to make a new layer for actions. And I'm going to make another layer for drop down menu. And let's make our drop down menu. So I'm going to go ahead and create the graphic, but the first thing is, when the person is watching your website, you don't want them to see the pull down menu right away. So you want them to see it after they hover over it. So we're going to go ahead and make a keyframe at frame 2 for drop-down menu. So I'm right-click and create a blank keyframe. This is when the drop-down menu would appear. When it comes to actions, I don't really have to worry about that. And the main button graphic, I do need that to last the whole time. The thing about that is, though, it's not really going to change, or at least not right now. It's not going to change. So I'm going to go over here, let's say to frame 40 here, right-click, and insert a frame. So I don't need to insert a keyframe because I don't plan on changing it or animating it in any way. So don't insert a keyframe. It might move, or you never know. So just a regular frame for that. And then at frame 2, for drop-down menu, I inserted a blank keyframe. And that's where I'm going to go ahead and draw the drop-down menu. So let's go over here to create the drop-down menu. I'm going to go over here and click on the rectangle tool. Choose the gradient there and go back over here. And let's draw our little menu that drops down. It's going to be 4 buttons, so I can kind of 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I can shrink it down a little bit. It's probably a little bit too long. There we go. And I'm going to rotate it so that the white part is on top. And let's pull this stuff in here and go up here. Something like that might look cool. Let's see how it looks. And it's going to be about that big, I think. It looks good. The only thing I did forget to do is this layer should be behind the button layer. So I'm just going to drop this down below. There we go. So it looks like that. Much nicer. So there we go. So now what we want to do is we're going to do a tween, graphic tween, or a classic tween where the menu starts small and then it kind of grows big. So let's start that up. And just to review, remember frame 1, nothing's happening. It's just the button by itself. Frame 2, the pull-down menu appears, but we're going to be tweening that in just a second. So I'm going to go over here to frame 40, and I'm going to insert a keyframe. And at frame 1, this shape is going to be this size. Like that. At frame 2, it's going to be that size, and I'm going to right-click and create a classic tween. Now, in the old days, you would have had to, oh, and it looks like I do have to, so scratch what I just said. I was hoping we didn't have to convert it to a symbol, but we do. So after I've done this, I'm going to go ahead and right-click, convert it to a symbol, and change it to a graphic, and call it pull down menu animation, just so I remember what that is. Okay, now I'm going to go over here, insert a keyframe, and go to frame 1, shrink it down. I like how I make mistakes as I'm explaining it to you. And then right-click somewhere in the middle and create classic tween. And that should give us our little graphic there. All right. The other thing that you can do is if I click somewhere in the middle here, you can do something called easing it. So what that does is it won't make it look like so mechanical if I just play the animation. If I click somewhere in the middle and then go over here to ease and increase that all the way up to 100, it'll ease out. And what will happen now is if I push enter, it'll kind of start fast and then slow down at the end, which makes it look much nicer. So make sure you do that for your animation. It kind of gives it that next little extra kind of touch that makes it look good. Alright, so that's it for the first part of this video. We're going to do a part 2, which will talk about taking the menu back up, and we'll go on from there.